I want a divorce. Words that most likely the other partner never wants to hear in general, or anybody wants to hear that wants to keep going in their marriage, to keep to what they vowed to, what they believe in, oh, would you love this person until love do y'all part? Well, guess what? In this generation, none of that shit matters. Marriage is a joke in 2025, just about. Believe it or not, I feel like marriage became a joke in the 2020s, really. Because it is not the same thing anymore. Marriage used to be way more of a beautiful concept, more like a divine idea. Who doesn't want to get married to their one and only, to their soulmate, supposedly soulmate? Let's get real here. I will say something. You can make a mistake in marrying the wrong person. This is possible. I'm talking about men and women. I'm not just saying, I'm not blaming one side for one thing, because you know what I'm saying? That's just not right. I'm not going to sit here and say that. But let's get real here, though. Anybody can wake up one day and be like, oh, fuck this person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be with this person anymore. Boom, divorce. It wasn't always like this, guys. Divorce was my bad, not divorce. Marriage was way more of a thing. Like, it had more of a heavier impact on how people took it. How I say. Marriage was, okay, how do I explain marriage in my opinion? Well, let me tell you my opinion about marriage. I think it's a waste of time. Respectfully, I do think it is. I think it's beautiful, but it's a waste of time. Getting married is basically, okay, we're going to pay all this money to get this big ass wedding going. We're going to do all this shit. Then guess what? You know, it's even worse than that. The debt after the wedding. Yes. Why am I talking about the money problems? Well, guess what? Believe it or not, a lot of couples leave. A lot of marriages fail because of financial problems. A lot of them. And do you know where it all stems from in the beginning? The wedding itself. Look, my grandparents, who raised me, basically, my mother raised me too, but it takes a whole village to raise a child, all that crap, They didn't get married the traditional way. They didn't have a reception. They didn't have to go to a chapel. They didn't do all that stuff. They got married at their cousin's house or something like that. And they put on a suit and a dress and said, let's get married. And guess what? They got married. They had food there. They didn't even have jobs yet. They were getting unemployment checks. You get what I'm saying? What I am saying, marriage has been very twisted. But they found a way to get married, still love each other, and still are with each other and married up to this day. They've been married over 35 years. Think about that, guys. 35 years. There are couples out there that still have like a long-lasting marriage. But do you know what the difference is between their marriages and our marriages? Their marriages are actually based off commitment. Our marriages are based off of the benefits. Do you understand what I'm saying? We are such a hungry generation of okay, what can this person do exactly for me? And there's nothing wrong with that to a point. But once that person stops doing that one thing for you, the marriage is over. It's not okay, you can't do this anymore. I guess I'll take over and you'll just do something else. You get what I'm saying? Nope. That's just it, Marriage is a team, I don't see marriage as just like lovers. I see it as a team, an unbreakable bond. You can't split up no matter what. And you know what's so funny? I treat all my relationships as a marriage already. Because my mind is so loyal to somebody. Once I'm with somebody or I'm in a situationship, it's so hard to be okay, I'm going to be looking at other people or fuck this person. No, my mind never does that. Once I'm with somebody, this is the only person I see in front of me. You know what I mean? Sure, I can talk to other women, other men, sure. But I will never put them on that standard of what my my partner or my future partner or somebody I like on that standard. You know what I mean? Never do that too. Fellas, if you're watching this, never ever, or women, ladies and fellas, don't ever put anybody higher than your own partner, believe it or not. Yes, maybe your parents or whatever, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Once you get married, it's a whole different ballgame. Your wife comes first, then your kid, then it's your parents or whatever. You know what I mean? Your family or your closest friends. But nah, it's not like that now. Marriage is way more of a joke because people rather leave somebody because oh man, I've been having a bad day and blah blah blah. Had a bad day at work. I came back home and this, and this. And then, I don't know, like, my partner ain't doing this anymore, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? You know what the first piece of advice somebody says to another person? Divorce them. What? You know, divorce doesn't really fix as much as you think. It's not even the problem about the other person. It's just the fact that they were just having a bad day that day. If this is a continuous thing, then I guess. But no, you shouldn't be divorcing somebody over some small ass shit. Or leaving somebody over something so small and petty like that, in my opinion. That's why I'm saying I don't really believe in marriage like that. At least in this time, I don't see it. I told my friends, they asked me a question and I said, oh, what do you think about marriage? I said, I think it's a piece of paper that can be written up fast, that can legit be ripped up faster than I say I do in actual marriage. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, I might have to make a part 2 in this one. I want to make this one a little brief in my opinion. But hey, you know what? I'll see you in the next one. Bye.